Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Put the lime in the coconut. Put the lime in the coconut. Put the lime in. Chris Pirillo.
You have a call on hold from.
This is Bad Leroy Dan.
Bad Leroy Dan?
That's me. I gotta turn the speakers down.
Alright, so what was so important that you had to call and try to interrupt a video about saving energy?
So it's about saving energy, and it's about how our government isn't allowing us to save energy.
Wait, whoa. So you're saying they're not allowing us to save energy, or they are?
Well, they're not allowing us to save energy. Here's the big question.
Wait a second. You're this isn't a Ron Paul speech, is it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Alright, okay. Continue.
Okay. Did you know that there are 6 American-made cars that get 35 miles per gallon combined? They're built in North America, but Americans can't buy them.
Say what?
Half a dozen different cars that get 35 miles per gallon combined. They're built here in North America, but good old Americans are not allowed to buy them. Every one of them is exported out of the country.
Why?
Because our government has their head in the sand.
That doesn't make any sense. Do you have any reasoning behind this decision?
Well, in Europe, they've had to deal with ridiculous fuel prices for years.
Yeah.
Whenever I write an article and post it up on Locker Gnome about gas mileage, all of the Brits jump in, or the other Europeans jump in and say, "Oh, you Americans have it easy because we pay $8 per gallon or whatever it is per liter," and they are all smirking now because we're now starting to feel just a little bit of that pain. They have all those really fuel efficient cars over there. We actually build a whole bunch of them here, and we ship them over there.
Wait, which ones? Do you have like names and who makes the cars and models?
Yeah. Yeah. So here I can I post a link up in
that's fine.
the chat room?
That's fine, Dan.
Yeah. Hold on one second.
This is a friend of mine. He's good. He's been writing a channel in Locker Room for a while called Technobabble. There's also
How long? Like years.
years.
Every
Well,
year.
and you've done stuff on compact fluorescent bulbs as well. So the guy knows what he's talking about when it comes to energy efficiency. So wait. So Kate. So what's the deal? Give us some models, names, etc.
So I just posted the link there.
MPG-O-Matic.
All Chryslers of one type or another. They're Jeeps, they're Chryslers, they're Dodges. There are 2 Jeep SUVs that get 35 miles per gallon combined. The Jeep Patriot diesel and the Jeep Compass diesel. These are SUVs that get 35 miles per gallon combined, and we can't buy them.
So the government has mandated that we can't buy them?
Because they use diesel engines, and they don't have the advanced emissions work done to them, they don't pass the spec. They passed the spec a couple of years ago, but because the Fed tightened things up over the last couple of years, they don't pass the current spec. There is only one American-made diesel-powered SUV sold here now, and that's the Jeep Grand Cherokee diesel.
What about biodiesel?
So biodiesel is awesome. You can run biodiesel, like a B5 or a B20 biodiesel blend. In fact, every Chrysler diesel that's sold in America comes with B5 in the tank from the factory.
Really?
It's 5% biodiesel, 95% conventional diesel from the factory.
So, okay, put this into perspective. Someone just mentioned he doesn't get it. So, why should this be important? Why should we be paying attention to what's going on here?
Okay, in Europe, half of the vehicles that Chrysler sells are diesel powered.
Okay.
They can typically get 30% better mileage than a conventional gas engine. If Chrysler were allowed to sell all these vehicles here now in the States, if 50% of what Chrysler sold in the States was diesel-powered, it would have a huge effect on reducing our imports of foreign oil. It would have a huge impact on the production of biodiesel, and it would put more workers back to work. It would keep more money in the country. The big foreign chunk of the cars are the engines. Chrysler uses 4 different engines from 3 different manufacturers, 2 German, 1 Italian. There's a Mercedes-Benz engine inside the Jeep Grand Cherokee diesel. So if you go to your Jeep dealer now, you can go and take a Jeep Grand Cherokee out for a test drive and drive the diesel. It drives better than most engines. Yeah, it's not a Hemi. It doesn't have as much horsepower as a Hemi. It has as much torque as a Hemi, and it gets much better mileage.
Well, yeah, I know. My Hemi's totally torqued out. CC Mike brings up a good point, and I'm sure he can repeat it again as the chat has continued to scroll. But he was suggesting or asking the question, why should we get better miles per gallon at the cost of clean air?
Because he needs to look at how clean the new diesels actually are. The new diesels are actually very clean.
Well, specifically, are you talking like regular diesel, biodiesel, or just diesel across the board?
If you take the brand new Mercedes-Benz Blue Tech diesels, or if you take the new diesel that's in the Grand Cherokee that we can buy now, they're clean diesels.
Okay, but CC Mike argues...
They're not the diesels that you think of.
Mike, go ahead and use Ventrilo. He's on with me over Ventrilo right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, so they're very clean, but if they don't meet emission standards, they're still not clean enough.
So here's the I don't want to say argument, but here's the point that I want to make. If the government said, yeah, we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. The engineering work is done on the Mercedes-Benz engines. It's done on the Volkswagen engines. It's just a question of implementing and building the tailpipes. If we put a waiver in for 1 or 2 years and just rolled back the regulations for 1 or 2 years and allowed Chrysler to sell those cars right now, it would have a very positive impact on things. It wouldn't have a huge negative impact on the environment, because you'd only be rolling it back to where it was 2 years ago, let's say. And in a year or so time, all the tailpipe work would be done, and all the 2009 from that point onward would be just as clean as could be.
I still argue that we need to be pushing for more electric.
Oh.
I don't think hydrogen is
okay, so
a good
I'll make
option.
this argument.
Go ahead, CC Mike.
If you give Chrysler the exception, then you've got to give every other auto manufacturer the same exception.
But is every other auto manufacturer...
That's fine. Give them all the exception. Chrysler is the only domestic manufacturer that's prepared to really move on diesels right now. Ford doesn't want to do it. GM doesn't want to do it. Chrysler is building them here right now. Right? There are guys putting diesel engines into minivans, into the smallest cars, into Jeeps. You can get a Mercedes-Benz diesel engine in a PT Cruiser, but you can't get it in America. Built in Toluca, Mexico. Can't buy it in America, but you can buy it over in Europe.
Yeah, it's weird how...
And again, I'll say, I don't want to relax emission standards.
What do you drive, Mike, if you drive anything?
Just to gain a couple miles per gallon.
Just for a year or two?
Not
it's
for
not
any
a
time.
couple of miles. It's significant.
Significant in what way, Dan, are you suggesting?
Okay, so this...
What's the math?
Yeah, this winter, I have... It's not a job I have. I've got this great gig. Every week they bring me a new car. I drive it for a week or so. They pick it up and give me a different one. I'm driving all the hybrids. I'll be driving all the diesels, and I'm traveling to wherever I have to go to to get to these cars. So over the next couple of months, I'll be trekking out and driving all the European diesels that'll be here within the next year or two. It's kind of I'm lucky. I'm a really lucky guy in that respect. So things like the Honda CR-V. Over in Europe, the Honda CR-V gets 30-something, 40 miles per gallon because it's running a diesel engine. Honda's diesel engine is exceptionally clean. It'll be here in another year or so, and all the manufacturers have the opportunity to do this, but some of them have chosen to go other routes. Hybrids are great, but it's sort of some of it is redundant, and there are a lot of waste issues involved with the production of all those batteries and the costs involved. And over the long haul, when you're doing highway driving, the diesels are always more efficient than the hybrids are. Always.
Are you heading off to some kind of car convention here soon, Dan?
Yeah, I'll be at the New York Auto Show this week, so hopefully I'll be able to post a whole bunch of videos, and we'll see how my shaky videos are. I need a really good steady cam, but I'll have some reports I can post up for you. And if folks got to take a look at the page, you can see that list of 12 or 13 cars that Chrysler built. There's only one of them that doesn't get the diesel in Europe, and that's the Dodge Viper.
Dan does not sell cars.
No, I don't sell cars. I only help people sell cars. The whole problem right now in this country is energy and financial related. And if we can keep our factories going and get people to buy fuel-efficient cars that keep our dollars in the country and keep our workers in the plants cranking stuff out, it would be a really, really good thing. So,
well, I can't argue with trying to boost the economy, considering the news that hit the financial sector today. Bears and Stern, don't know. I'm assuming you caught that.
Yeah.
Ouch. Well, anyway, Dan, thanks for calling and wiggling your way through.
That's all right, man. I gotta bang in a door sometimes before I get in, right?
Yeah, yes, you do. Especially if I'm not paying attention.
Not to worry, man. It's always a pleasure.
All right, thanks again, Dan.
Take care.
All right.
Come on, Mike.